Good morning, 10th class friends. Today we are discussing about our chapter number 3, that is metal and non-metals. In last video, we already discussed about this for like physical properties of metals. Once again, we are just starting with the physical properties of metals and non-metals. I hope you all are safe at your home and we take care about your study and listen and completely the online classes. Okay, and try to understand the time managements for your board exam purpose. Okay, so let's should we have to start with the metals and non-metals. First of all, you know about that all metals and non-metals are the elements. It means most of elements you see in ninth class also, like carbon, oxygen, helium, hydrogen, aluminium, sodium, magnesium. These all are the elements. But for that elements, we have to just make a distinguish in between the metals and non-metals, and one more category is there, that is the metalloids. So now we are first discussing about the metals and non-metals, and these metals and non-metals you earlier already studied the physical properties of this in the ninth class, okay, in the previous class. So today what we are discussing here, first of all the physical properties of metals and non-metals, and then chemical properties of metals and non-metals. So before that we have to start this metal properties. We have to see first that what is the definitions of metals. What is the definition of metal? So metals are the substance which are malleable and ductile and good conductor of heat and electricity. So the element which is a good conductor of heat and electricity, and malleable and having a ductile characteristics. So I think I should start with the physical properties. Definition generally can be included in our physical properties. So first, that is metal physical properties. Okay. Metals physical properties. Okay, and here I am writing just here I am writing. Okay, non-metals physical properties. So in tabular form, we will study about the these two metals and non-metal properties. So sometimes the question is just related according to the how can you distinguish or what are the differences between the metals and non-metals on the basis of their physical properties. So for this question you have to write this answer. So first of all that we have to write here. And before that, you know about that metals also are present in our nature, and this also present, non-metals also present in our nature. Some metals can be extracted, or metals, non-metals can be extracted directly from the earth. It means directly can from the crust, okay, and where downside like manticore or like side. So we have to see some are the ground elements. It means the elements which are found in the ground, okay, and from there we have to a profitable ore, and from we have to extract the metals. So you know about the which metal is amongst the most of in the earth, that is the aluminum. Okay, so aluminum is the metal which is the highest abundant in our earth, and in non-metal if we are telling the in earth crust the highest non-metal is oxygen. Okay, so you have to study about that. This is the aluminum is the highest, okay, highest percentage of aluminum found in our earth crust, and the highest non-metal percentage of oxygen. Okay, so these two metal and non-metals are we can clarify the question that which is the most abundant metal and non-metal found in our earth. Okay, so I hope you are understanding this. So now let's we have just started, and many examples are there. Examples also will be the one point we will be included at the last time. And but first of all we have to see the physical properties. So in first physical properties we have to start with the malleability. Okay, so metals are malleable in nature. Okay, And so for that I am directly writing non-malleable. Okay, non-malleable. Okay, malleable means you already hear this words and terms that malleable and ductile. Now we are discussing here. So malleable means what? We have to, if with the hammer or with the striking position, if the metals can be converted into the thin sheet, then it is known as its malleability. Okay, so generally metals, when we are just it means beating with the hammer, then it can be converted into the thin sheet. Okay, so this property contains by the having by the metals, and this property is not having the non-metals. Okay, so uh, I am writing here only conversion into thin sheet, Okay, so metal contains this property, and second is ductile nature. I am directly writing, but when you are writing, make a one complete sense of the sentence. So you can easily write this. Metals are having a ductile nature. Metals are having a ductile nature means it can be conversion 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 into conversion into conversion into wire. Okay, and this is uh, no ductility. Okay, you have to write no ductility. I hope you are understanding. It means you can write in the full form of sentence when you are writing with the non-metal. Like non-metals are non-malleable in nature. Non-metals are non-ductility in nature. Okay, easy things for you. Okay, it means for the metals we have to convert into the thin wires, and this thin wire getting the new shape like a thin wire, we can convey, or we have to include the metals, and that's why we have to say this is the ductile nature. This is the ductile nature. You can see that how much ductility can be seen. Okay, like malleability, most of malleable are silver and gold. That's why we have to use in the ornaments and jewelry purpose. And next is ductile nature. It means we have to make convert it into the thin wires like copper. Okay, but most are the gold, and then second is silver. So copper, aluminum also. So 1 gram gold can be converted into 2 kilometer wire. Okay, length of wire, 2 kilometer length wire. Okay, so you can easily see how much it can be changed into the, and what are the showing of this ductility, how much like look like 1 gram, even only the 1 gram gold, which is a very less quantity of gold, and we can convert into 2 kilometer wire length. Okay, so now the third one is good conductors of heat, and you can tell here bad conductors of heat. Generally non-metals are bad conductors of heat and metals are good conductor of heat. Fourth one is good conductors of electricity. That's why generally we are using this metallic wire. Okay, like copper and aluminum for the wiring purpose, and for the to make passes the transfer of electricity from one place to other place, and they are the bad conductor of electricity. And for heat we have to tell, like generally for the cooking vessels, means for the cooking purpose we generally using the metallic utensils like metallic utensils, because metal are a good conductor of heat. Then if we are giving a continuous heat, it should be a it means the someone maybe the utensils or vessels should be hot in conditions. Okay. Now the fifth one, I hope you all are understanding about these properties. Okay, you have to make a full sense of these sentences for 1, 2, and 3 and 4. Okay, full length of sentence you have to make. Okay, and the fifth one is they are generally hard in nature. Okay, generally hard. I'm writing some examples here. Generally solid in nature. They are having a high melting points and boiling points, like iron has like a melting point is like 1535 degrees Celsius. Okay, 1500. Like copper is 1083 degrees Celsius. And one more, we are including some exceptional cases we also have to discuss here. Okay, somewhat 1, 2, 3 exceptional cases are there for maybe some points, and sometime if you are writing these exceptional cases for that, then it will be give the good marks in this question. Okay, like sodium. Okay, for sodium I am writing only the this symbol. Okay, for sodium there is a degree Celsius, means melting point is 98 degrees Celsius. For potassium there is a 64 degrees Celsius, and gallium and cesium. Okay, gallium and cesium, which has melting point of like 30 degree and 28 degree Celsius. Okay, and eighth one, our point is they are having a high density. They are having a high density because like iron having a high density, so like a 6.83 or like this. Okay, so it is not necessary to write their gram meter cube, but if you are knowing like maybe 6.83 or like that. Okay, gram meter cube. Okay, and instead of this, okay, other one is only having like sodium. Okay, like Na having only 0.97, maybe 6 or 7 is there. Okay, and like that. Okay, having this much density. 9 number point is they are telling that they are having a they are sonorous, and 10 number point you have to make right, they are lustrous. Okay, and 11 and 12 point many are there like a color. For 11 we have to write their color because different are having a different type of color like a gray color and things. And for 12 point we have to write some examples. Okay, so if we are writing 11 point or 10 point, that is enough for this answer. So now we are making a comparison with that. They are fifth number, they are generally hard, and they are what I am telling here, like a malleable and ductile, mostly sodium and potassium not doing the malleability and ductility, because we can these two metals are having a low density and having a very soft in nature, and that's why we can cut with the help of knife. So they are not having a ductility, so you can tell that here it is sodium and potassium. Okay, and also they are not a good conductor of heat and like that. They are generally hard, but except you can tell Na and K, and also you have to write this here, except Na and K. Okay, Na means sodium, K any potassium. Okay, and okay. Generally have a high melting point and boiling point. So listen, first of all we have to write here also. So generally they are hard, then they are soft, generally solid. So they are solid, liquid and gas. They are solid, liquid and gas. So listen, here total number of non-metals are 22. Okay, so listen, the solids are 10, liquids are 1 and gases are 11. So total there is a 22 number of, there are 22 number of non-metals. Okay, I hope you are understanding this thing. So total number of solids are 10, total number of liquid is 1, that is the bromine. Okay, you have to hear this name, or you have to remember this name, because one of the non-metal which is found liquid in nature. Okay, so that is bromine in nature. Okay, and one of the metal which is found in liquid in nature, that is metal. One of the metal which is found in liquid. So you also have to write here it is mostly solid, except Na and K, because they are solid but very less solid, and they are having a very dilute. So for the solid you have to, okay, no problem, we have to write this sodium and potassium, but we are here we are writing this symbol of mercury. This Hg is a symbol for mercury. Okay, mercury. So they are solid, liquid and gas. So total number of solids are 10, liquids are 1 and gases are 11 in number. So total number of non-metals are 22 among all the elements. Now the 7 number is, so here what we are telling or describing is the melting point and boiling point. It shows its characteristics, how it get warm or hot heatness to change its states. So like iron having the 1535 degrees Celsius, their melting point, copper contain 1083 degrees Celsius. That's why when we are using as in the form of electricity wire, then easily they cannot be melt. And you are also listen or hear the one name is more, that is tungsten. Okay, and tungsten contain the more than 3380 degrees Celsius. Okay, the temperature which is generally used in the filament of bulb. Okay, tungsten which is the generally used in the filament of bulb are having the melting point of 3380 degrees Celsius. And you know about the highest melting point, like that when you are hearing the name is carbon, allotropes of carbon, that is diamond. Okay, so carbon is a non-metal, but they are having a two allotropes, that is one is graphite and another one is a diamond. Okay, so graphite is a good conductor of electricity. So generally they are bad conductor of electricity, but we have to write here except graphite. Okay, when I am writing here E, it means except. Okay, sorry, I have to write full name, except graphite, except graphite. Okay, and generally bad conductor of heat. So bad conductor of electricity, or sorry, heat. So except graphite, because yes, because graphite can able to transfer electricity from one place to another. Then generally they are a soft, they are a solid, liquid and gas. Okay, and generally they are having a low melting point and boiling point. Okay, I hope you are understanding. Last time our online videos from our textbook, our NCERT textbook, we already discussed these things, and you can easily see there. And also we have to see here. Okay, so it will be a benefit for you. So low melting point and boiling point. and eighth one is our high density. So they are having a low density. Okay, they are having a low density. Nine number point is telling that they are a sonorous. Okay, sonorous means what? Okay, it means when it is when the metals are striking with the hard surface or maybe on the ground, they are making the ringing sound. They are making the ringing sound. So generally metals, you know about that school bell. Okay, any like bell or okay electronic bell or anything is there, so they are making the ringing sound. Okay, so this ringing sound only is able to because metals are having the sonority. Metals are having the sonority in nature. So sonorous means producing ringing sound. So I am directly writing here ringing sound. But when we are talking about the non-metals, they are not having a sonority. So I can write here no sonorous. Okay, because not making any sound of for that. And generally they are brittle in nature. They are brittle in nature. Okay, brittle in nature. They are brittle in. So what do you mean by this brittle? Brittle means when they are striking with the ground or any hard surface, they are just breaks like a soil lumps. Okay, after flowing there is a many lumps of soils are found, and when you know about that when we are striking with the any hard surface, generally they can convert it into the fine soil or fine sand like that. So they are having a brittle in nature. It means when the non-metals are striking with the ground, they just convert it into powder form. Okay, so 10 number is they are having a lustrous. So they are a non-lustrous element. Okay, but one exceptional case is there, that is exceptional case is there, that is iodine. Okay, that is iodine, because iodine is yellow in color and they are having a lustrous. Lustrous means they are having a shiny appearance. Okay, it means in the light or in the presence. So you know about that metals are having the lustrous appearance. It means they are having the reflection of light, multiple reflection of light also they are having. And when you knows about that the metal vessels and metal utensils are having the shiny appearance on that. Okay, so then they are mostly new, because after that it means when we are having at the home at too much time, then they lost just their lustrous, and only because of that, because they are getting oxidized. Okay, so non-metals are generally not lustrous, but except iodine, because iodine is a lustrous non-metal. Okay, so and for color you also have to write, and for 11 number you have to write some examples also. Like example you can write here, example you also can write here, and for here you can write like sodium. Okay, this is sodium, this is potassium, this is Mg means magnesium. Okay, you have to remember that from 1 to 30 atomic number and with the elements you should remember anytime. Okay, for the 10th class. Okay, in higher studies you have to maybe remember some more atomic numbers and more elements, but for only 10th class you have to remember some at least 1 to 30. Okay, some more are needed, but not exact the atomic number sequence. Okay, so example sodium, potassium, magnesium, and aluminium. Okay, iron, cobalt. Okay, zinc. So these are the some example, and gold and silver. So this is the silver and this is the gold, Au. Okay, so these are some examples of for the metals. This is also can be 1 point, and I also already told that one more point is about their color. So if you know about the colors of different they are not a hard, so except Na. So you have to also write one point here, except sodium and potassium, because we can cut with the help of knife. Okay, you can add here because generally we are telling that metals is a hard surface, metal are having the hard surface, but except sodium and potassium, because we can able to cut with the help of knife. And one more thing is there, I am remembering about here, like that, these are the examples, and one more examples, gray, like the colors, okay. So golden color, okay, having the gold, and grayish color, and silvery color, okay, like for silver, okay. So some colors are different, like a gray color for iron, okay, and these are the colors, okay. And hmm. And listen, these gallium and cesium are having the boiling melting point like that, 30 degrees Celsius and 28 degrees Celsius. You know about that. Our room temperature is also like 20 degrees sometime, or in winter days 20-22, and in the these days is we are having the at least 27 to 28 degree Celsius temperature. So generally for sodium and potassium we are kept in kerosene, okay, to preserve that. But they can be, if we are taking this into the our hand palm, okay, hand palm, okay. So this hand from our palm, they are getting just heat, energy, and they can be a melt, started to melt. So that's why gallium and cesium are having very low melting point, and even it's a too low much melting point, then if we are taking into our palm, then it can be started to melt, okay. And some examples are here, like carbon. Okay, you have to hear it is a carbon. We will also study. We will also study this carbon in our next chapter. Okay, so carbon having a two allotropes. One is graphite and one is diamond. So when we are telling that they are soft, but we have to write here it is one exceptional case, that is diamond. That is diamond, okay. And exceptional case like carbon. So carbon are having the two, the one is graphite and one is diamond. They are also having, because diamond are very hard in nature, and graphite is a good conductor of electricity, because graphite are having the three electrons where one is more free. We will discuss about that, okay. And carbon, and here it is sulfur. Many different colors can also can be found here. Oxygen, hydrogen, bromine. I already told bromine is one of the non-metal which is liquid at the room temperature, okay. So bromine and fluorine, fluorine, and many are etc. Okay, many are like that. Many gases, argon, neon, all are just containing in this. So I hope you are just studied in well defined form of our metals and non-metals. Okay. Next we are just starting our chemical properties of metals. Okay. So this is our physical properties of metals and non-metals. Okay. So we are just starting. So in next class we will study about the chemical properties, okay, because this time our time is going to be over. So I hope once again we have to try to listen, okay. So like most abundant metal is aluminum, most abundant non-metal is in our earth crust is oxygen, and metals are malleable and ductile in nature. Non-metals are non-malleable and non-ductile in nature. Okay, good conductor of heat. They are bad conductor of heat. Generally, okay, the bad conductor of heat is also okay, and good conductor of electricity. Bad conductor of electricity except graphite. They are generally hard except sodium and potassium, because we can cut with the help of knife. They are soft except diamond, because diamond is a very much high. It means having the high. Generally, metals are having the high tensile strength. Okay, one more point is I am remembering, tensile strength you will not see in your books, because tensile strength, it means they can carry a too much burden on that. Okay, that's why the bridges, pools, and many automobile sectors, many machines, okay, they are having the with the help of metals. It means they are just made up of metals, because they are having a tensile strength, high tensile strength, and due to this high tensile strength, they can get too much burden on that. Okay, so you are. I think you are. I hope you are understanding about what is tensile strength. Okay, so metals generally having a good tensile strength, but they are having a not. They are having a bad tensile strength. Okay. Generally solid except Hg, it means mercury. They are solid, liquid, and gases. So 10 solids, 1 liquid, and 11 gases. High melting point and boiling point. Iron is 1535 degrees Celsius. 1083 is for copper. And low melting points and boiling points, low density. Gallium and cesium is 30 degrees Celsius and 20 degrees Celsius. It can easily can be converted into the melted. Okay, at our hands palm. And non-lustrous except sodium, iodine, high densities, iron and sodium. Iron having here 6 point. This is 7.8. Okay, I'm remembering here 7.8 gram per meter cube. So you can see easily what is the very much high density having contained by the iron. Okay, it means in 1 meter cube area they are having the 7.8 gram, and for sodium, which is the low density, which are having only 0.97 gram in 1 meter cube area. Okay, non-metals are non-lustrous except iodine. And 11. Okay, here it is. They are generally lustrous. All are mostly metals are lustrous. An example: sodium, potassium, magnesium, aluminum, iron, cobalt, zinc, and gold and silver. Okay, silver and gold. This is gold Au. Okay, and here it is a non-lustrous except iodine, carbon, sulfur, oxygen, hydrogen, bromine, fluorine, etc. Okay, so I hope you all understood these things, and next time when you will prepare yourself this physical properties, if this video or this online video will be make benefits for you. Thank you.